Okay, creating an online course can really make you go crazy if you don't know what to do. It can also make you feel overwhelmed and so many other things along the way. But one thing I almost did when I started creating online courses is that I almost quit. I almost gave up. I wanted to throw in the towel because I knew that if I kept going, I was going to run into burnout and run into situations where I might not ever pick back up the camera or actually create slides and things along those lines. I thought I would never do it again. So I had to take a step back and decide what would work best for me. So I'm gonna share why I almost quit creating online courses, and hopefully this can help you if you are feeling that overwhelm that comes along with creating a e-learning course. All right, let's go ahead and dive right in. Hey there, Corporate Misfits. Brittany Darrington here, and welcome to the Corporate Misfit Club channel, where we help female coaches, course creators, and digital product business owners to build a freedom-bound business, sharing their expertise, creating passive income, and automation in their business. Now, before we dive into today's topic, where I'm going to talk about why I almost gave up on creating online courses, I want you to check out my free guide that will help you to create digital products and launch those out into the world. Also, hit that subscribe button so you can be notified of some of our upcoming videos. Now, let's talk about why I almost quit, because honestly, a lot of people want to create online courses. It's a really popular thing, right? And especially since 2020, when a lot of people went online because of a pandemic, it was something that a lot of people opened their eyes to be able to learn through e-learning rather than having to go in person to things. And it's just something that is a really great way for you to generate passive income in your business and so much more. But creating an online course can also feel daunting because there's a lot of components that go into it. You don't just get to the computer and record and call it a day. Instead, you have to create slides or do face to camera. You have to promote and market, create an audience for it, and so much more. So I want to really dive into why I almost quit creating e-learning courses and how you can overcome this if you're experiencing this too. So the first thing, I was making online courses way too complicated. So when I first set out to build an online course, I started off by taking someone's online course, and I was learning about methods and strategies on how to properly create a course and how to do it the right way, because I didn't know all the moving parts associated with it. Though this course might have helped others, but for me, it really created a lot of confusion. So it talked a lot about creating only a signature course, and the only way to market it is through this type of marketing platform, and this is how you're going to do it. Now, throughout the course, I followed every step from step A to B to Z, all the way to Z. I followed every single step to a T. And one thing I found was that I didn't receive the results that this person was talking about through their raving fans, through their own success, and it was a little frustrating because I kept saying to myself, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing that's not really getting me to where I want to go? I mean, I created this course, but I'm not seeing sales come through. What's going on? I'm not seeing this big change in my life. And so I realized that I was making this overly complicated. I was creating a overly complicated course that had too many modules, too many lessons. It was a signature course, and it was not what I needed at that time. Instead, since I was new to the online space, what would make more sense for me at that time would have been a mini course or some sort of digital product like a workbook or a planner or some sort of swipe files or things like that. That would have been probably the best option for me to get started with. So it became very frustrating that I put all this time and effort and energy into building out this course, and it was so complicated because I had to break down all of the different areas of how to get from A to Z, and eventually I just started to get so frustrated. So I spent time and energy recording, I spent time and energy making slides, I spent time and energy to create landing pages and get set up on the proper platforms, and eventually I launched to crickets. So if you are starting to feel like creating an online course is becoming complicated, I want you to ask yourself, what is making it complicated? For me, it was too long of a course, and also there were too many other moving parts behind the scenes that weren't authentic to myself. And so I was trying to do what I thought was the right way when I discovered along the way that there's no right or wrong way to go about marketing yourself in your courses and your products and things like that. It's just that you have to do it, and you have to learn, and you can experience what works best for you and your business and what you're doing. Now, the second thing that made me almost quit, because it was something that I started to notice happening when I did start selling online courses, that I didn't have a clear journey for where I wanted my customers to go. I didn't have a clear path on how they were going to get the transformation. Instead, I was throwing all these resources and courses and trainings and things at them that they didn't have a clear path on how they were going to really see the results. And so it started to really break me inside when I would have customers tell me like, oh yeah, I went through the whole entire course, but I still have questions on this, or I don't know how to do that, or I'm still not being able to build this out. And it was one of those things where I had to ask myself, am I really guiding my customers properly? Am I creating a journey for them? Or am I just throwing a whole bunch of stuff at them and resources, hoping that they can make sense of all of this? And I had to go back to the drawing board and also go back to where I started. And I had to ask myself, if I were to present all of this information to you up front and provide you with all of these resources right now when you're first getting started, would that overwhelm you? And the answer is yes, it would. So I had to take a step back and I had to think through, what is my customer journey going to be? How can I eliminate some of these resources? Sometimes overwhelming someone can keep them from making progress and making the steps to go in the direction of transformation. So I want you to ask yourself, are you creating a clear path for where you want your audience to go? If not, then it's going to cause you to get really frustrated and might even cause you to want to quit. All right, the third thing is being something that you're not. This is where I really struggled in the online course space, even to make videos. Now I'm very comfortable jumping onto the camera and talking to the camera, but before I wasn't as comfortable. I was trying to do what I saw some of my idols doing, and I was trying to mimic their style. It wasn't a good fit for me, and also I found that it wasn't my authentic self. So when I was talking, I kept running into roadblocks because though I knew what I was talking about, I was trying to sound so professional and polished and clean, and I wanted people to be able to see that this is how you do it and this is how you do it without making mistakes. And instead, I wasn't being my honest self. So when I finally dropped the facade and I finally stopped trying to be everything that I was not, and I started talking to the camera like what I'm doing today, it started to flow, it started to make sense, it started to feel comfortable, and I started to be able to communicate to my customers the way that I would properly communicate to a customer in person. And my style might not be like everyone else's. It might not be prime and polished and proper, but I know what works for me, and I also know what works for the customers that I work with. So it helped me to start to become myself and feel more comfortable, and also put my flavor and my taste and my style in things. So when I create, whether it's a workbook, a course, a template, whatever it may be, I put my flavor on it so that then it is truly who I am. Last but not least, not knowing how to sell your digital products. So this made me almost quit because I didn't know how to sell my digital products other than this one method and this one way that someone informed me of through their online course training. But one thing I discovered was that there's so many ways that you can sell your online course. Some people do really well selling their courses and their digital products through social media. Some people do really well selling it through email marketing. Sometimes it's a combination of the two. There's also affiliate marketing. There's so many different ways for people to be able to sell their digital products. But if you're only looking at one way to do it and that way doesn't work, then it's going to get frustrating. So I want you to start thinking about the different avenues that you can sell. So if you enjoy email marketing, I want you to check out email marketing to be able to sell your products. That requires you to build an audience. So you need to start building up your audience through whether it's lead magnets, trainings, things like that to collect emails and information. But this is a way for you to be able to sell your products through multiple emails. If you find that social media is your it, then maybe you jump on and you're doing lives and you're connecting with people and building relationships through social media, DMing on the back end, helping people solve issues and problems and overcome some of their pain points, whatever it may be. But I want you to think about all the avenues that you can generate sales in your business, because it's not just one way. And I want you to find a way that's going to be more comfortable for you. So if you are not generating sales, you might not be putting yourself out there. And I want you to start thinking about ways to put yourself out there so that you can sell, so you can keep doing what it is that you're doing. That's one of the reasons why I almost quit my online course. But once I figured out how to start generating sales, I became more comfortable with it. And it was one of those things that felt liberating, because because every time I saw a sale come through, I would just get excited and I would just go celebrate every single sale that comes through. And I still do that even till this day. So Corporate Misfits, if you are thinking about quitting an online course, I want you to keep going. I want you to maybe revamp what you're doing. Maybe you need to create a mini course or membership rather than a signature program, or maybe a signature program makes sense. Whatever it may be, I want you to keep going, and I want you to find ways to just adjust and be able to adapt so that you can be able to get to the finish line and actually see your course come to life and see people actually get transformation through what it is that you're providing through e-learning. Okay, Corporate Misfits, don't forget to download the free guide that can help you to get started with a digital product and launch that out into the world. You can find that below, and also hit that subscribe button. And let me know in the comment section, what has kept you from launching your course? Like, what's keeping you from actually seeing success or being able to put yourself out there with your course? What is holding you back? I would love to know. Okay, I'll see you soon. Hey there, Corporate Misfits. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. Go ahead and hit subscribe so you can be notified of some of our upcoming videos.